Sobre ele.
Both animals and humans survive because they are afraid.
Se não tivesse medo, ficariam muito abandonados e seriam.
People who weren't afraid would be very abandoned, and we would be both animals and humans an endangered species. Just as there is good and bad cholesterol, there is good fear and bad fear. A good fear is the one that prevents us from the real danger. That fear that is in front of us is in our eyes. Then we were scared, and deservedly so. Imaginary fear only exists in our heads. That fear is of what might happen. But remember, if it could happen, it might not happen either. Who is afraid imaginary? The children, the fear of the boogeyman, and the infantilized adults. Most of the infantilized adults. Every time you indulge in imaginary fears, you experience real pain.
Geralmente, o nosso medo imaginário
Usually our imaginary fear is of something that might happen in the future. But if it could happen, consider that it might not happen either. Don't allow fear of what might happen to make nothing happen. Good or functional fear is one that is activated in the face of a situation of real danger, which is very different. For example, you are going to cross a street. The danger is not yet real. But you will have to be careful. In that case, it is not cowardice, it is prudence. Because it would be very stupid for you to cross a street carelessly. This fear is positive when it prevents us from real evils and moves us to act with prudence. Our mind anticipates certain situations, and we calculate the probability. It is very likely that I will die when run over when crossing a busy village. So I'm going to cross. I'm not going to stop crossing out of fear, but I'm going to take precautions. I'm going to take precautions. An emotionally healthy person is not capable of daring, but he does not dare in a reckless way. She foresees, tries to plan, knows that she will never have an absolute guarantee of certainty. She will never have an absolute guarantee that everything will work out. She will face danger with all the protection she can give herself. The difference is that the coward does not control fear. The brave overcomes fear and goes forward. Courage is resistance to fear, mastery of fear, and not the absence of fear. You will never be brave if you are not afraid. You will also learn that if you don't make mistakes, will never be successful. If you haven't failed, how will you learn? We learn from our mistakes. Did you also know that fear defeats more people than anything else in the world? The fears we don't face become our limits. Fear is temporary, but regret is permanent. How many things have we lost because of the fear of losing? When we understand that our thoughts control our lives, and that the only thing we have to control are our thoughts, we acquire an almost miraculous power. This awareness gives us an enormous possibility to improve the quality of life. Our anguishes, our fears, as well as all the other things we believe, and our just thoughts can be changed. That's the good news. Imaginary fear or psychological fear refers to something that might happen in the future but is not happening right now. Can my building collapse? It can. It's possible, but is it likely? Very unlikely. You are here and now, while your mind has already gone to the future. One can always deal with the present moment, but he cannot do it. He cannot deal with something that is a mental projection which only exists in the future, does not exist yet. And how can you deal with the future if there's a time that doesn't exist yet? It would be the same as you fighting the ghost. So let go of your imaginary fears, pay attention to what you're afraid of, so you can have real fear and not feed scary fantasies.
Think about it and stay in peace, everyone.